Good evening, Blazers, and welcome back to InfoFlow from home. Today is Tuesday, June 9th, and my name is Sam. Today we're going to give you the top news and announcements affecting Blair and the Washington, D.C. region, and I'm pleased to be joined by Kiavi.
Thank you, Sam. There is now a total of 12,818 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Montgomery County. Prince George's continues to be the hardest hit county as it passed 16,500 confirmed cases, and in the entire DMV region, cases near 120,000.
For today's Pride Month fact, Marsha P. Johnson was a black gay liberation activist in the 60s and 70s and was a prominent figure in the Stonewall riots. Johnson worked tirelessly for gay liberation organizations and as an AIDS activist, and many of the strides made by the gay rights movement can be attributed to Johnson.
Blazer, the end of the year is approaching fast. Please make sure to check your school email for the link to select your grade preference for the fourth quarter. You have a choice between selecting a pass or a letter grade.
If you need to retrieve personal items from the school, look out for Blair's announcement on logistics and times to do so. The retrieval process will take place from June 15th through June 29th.
Now let's go check out the scene during the recent DC protests in response to recent incidents of police brutality.
Today I'm standing a few blocks away from the White House as thousands of people flood into downtown DC for the 9th consecutive day of protests after the death of George Floyd.
Music, food, and small children made Saturday's protests feel like a carnival.
It's very chill, very relaxed, it's very peaceful. Everyone's listening to music, enjoying each other's company.
Thousands of people took to the streets of D.C. to protest police brutality and demand justice for George Floyd.
We're here today to bring awareness to the police brutality and the lives lost to the murder of the heads of the police.
We wanted to help out the protests any way we can, so we got some supplies together and have been handing out water and snacks.
Large crowds gathered in front of the White House playing music, chanting slogans, and holding up signs. Despite the joyful atmosphere, they made it clear that they see serious issues with America's justice system.
I have guns drawn on me, like manhunts where they'll chase after me just for standing around and not doing nothing. I've been arrested for trespassing on the sidewalk, and that's not right to me.
Although cities like D.C. experienced looting and violence last weekend, protests have become increasingly peaceful. This week, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser eliminated the city's curfew and asked President Trump to remove federal forces from the city. She also renamed a portion of 16th Street Black Lives Matter Plaza. Despite these concessions, protesters want to see bigger change.
We should not still be doing this. Like, we have been having to do this for over 400 years and still haven't been any change. So if I could see some kind of equality, then that would be cool.
DC police estimate that these protests are some of the biggest to ever take place in the city. When they'll end, nobody knows. For BNC News, I'm Hunter Walterman.
In regional coronavirus news, Governor Hogan announced that the coronavirus hospitalizations have hit a low point and the statewide positivity rate is down to 7.6%. Business operations like the MVA and child care centers, as well as state transit, will begin to resume normal operations. Phase 2 of reopening for Maryland started on Friday, June 5th, but PG and Montgomery counties again decided to wait longer before reopening more businesses.
In Minneapolis, at the end of May, yet another incident of police brutality resulted in the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man, at the hands of a white police officer. The frustration at his death has sparked mass demonstrations across the country. The arresting officer, Derek Chauvin, has been charged with second-degree murder. Although this incident has received a lot of attention, it is not the first time something like this has happened in America. This country has a long history of these events, and the protests going on across the country are in reaction to the deaths of unarmed black Americans at the hands of police officers. Some of the most well-known incidents include the deaths of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, and Eric Garner. Thousands of Americans have taken to the streets in cities across America in protest, saying this is an important moment in the fight for black Americans to gain equity and justice in this country. Blazers, if you are planning to participate in the protest, as many Blair students and people across the country have, please make sure that you wear a mask to protect yourself and that you are prepared for the risk of potentially dangerous and violent encounters with police. There are many other ways to contribute to the cause besides protesting, such as donating or signing petitions. Please check out the link in our bio for a list of resources. Stay safe and stay informed, Blazers.
That's all for today's show. Check out our website at bnconline.net to submit announcements, and follow us on Twitter at bncblair and on Instagram at bnc.infoflow. We'll be back on Friday with the latest edition of InfoFlow from home. This is a difficult time for all of us, but it's also a time to grow, and we'll make it through together. Remember to stay strong, but also prioritize self-care and take time for yourself when you need it. Bye, Blazers.